I'm a 29-year-old guy, and last Tuesday at 11:30 p.m., I got a text from my girlfriend, Emily, 27, while I was getting ready for bed. We'd been together for 18 months, living together for the last 6. She had borrowed my 2021 Toyota Tacoma to run errands that afternoon. The text read, "Babe, please don't freak out. I crashed your truck. I'm okay." Jake was driving. We were just catching up over coffee, and he offered to drive back since I had a headache. He's not used to trucks. So sorry. We'll explain everything when I get home. Jake is her ex of 3 years, who she swore was out of her life completely. My reply, "Is everyone safe? Where are you?" She responded, "Yes, we're fine. At the accident scene, cops are here. It's just some body damage. Babe, don't worry." I sat there, staring at my phone, thinking about my pristine, fully paid-off truck that I'd babed for 3 years, now driven by her ex. She'd lied about who she was with. Anger simmered, but I stayed calm and calculated my next move. I texted back, "Okay, be safe. See you when you get home. You're the best. Love you." I immediately called my insurance company's 24-hour line. The conversation was straightforward. "Hi, I need to report an accident involving my vehicle. I wasn't driving." The agent asked, "Who was operating the vehicle at the time of the accident?" I said, "Someone named Jake. He's not on my policy. My girlfriend let him drive without my knowledge or permission." The agent replied, "That's an unauthorized driver. Was your girlfriend in the vehicle?" I confirmed she was a passenger. They explained that an unauthorized driver is personally liable for damages, and my comprehensive coverage might not apply to certain aspects. Perfect. Emily got home around 1 a.m. via Uber, looking sheepish but not sorry enough. She started, "Okay, so I ran into Jake at the coffee shop. Totally random. We got talking, and he suggested we catch up as friends. Then I got this killer headache, probably from the caffeine, and he offered to drive back. He's not used to trucks and misjudged a turn." I interrupted, "You told me you were running errands." She said, "I was. I just also got coffee with Jake." I replied, "Who you let drive my truck?" "Babe, it's not like that. We're just friends now." "You're being jealous over nothing," she said. The audacity. "Emily, that truck isn't insured for random people to drive. You know that." She waved her hand dismissively. "Insurance will cover it. That's what it's for." I said, "Actually, it won't. Jake's an unauthorized driver. He's personally liable for all damages." Her face paled. "What do you mean?" I explained, "Jake's about to get sued by my insurance company for the full cost of repairs or replacement if it's totaled." She stammered, "You told them Jake was driving?" I said, "Of course. I'm not committing insurance fraud for your ex-boyfriend." She stood there, speechless, then got angry. "How could you do that to him? It was an accident." I replied, "An accident that happened because you lied to me and let your ex drive my truck. Actions have consequences." She stormed off to the bedroom. I slept on the couch, not because she kicked me out, but because I needed space to think. It's my apartment, my name on the lease. The next morning, I got photos from the insurance adjuster. The damage was extensive, front end crumpled, airbags deployed, frame likely bent. My beautiful truck was probably totaled. Update 1, 3 days later. The drama escalated as expected. Jake tried calling me. I blocked him. Then came texts from unknown numbers. "Hey, man, this is Jake. We need to talk about the insurance thing. Emily says you're being unreasonable." Dude, I wasn't even speeding. Don't be a jerk about this. I can't afford a lawsuit. Please reconsider. I ignored them all. Not my problem. Emily went into damage control mode, but not for us, for Jake. His insurance won't cover it because he wasn't driving his own car. This is going to bankrupt him. I said, "Sounds like he should have thought about that before getting behind the wheel." She snapped, "He's a grad student. He doesn't have money." I replied, again, "Not my problem." She said, "It is your problem. I'm your girlfriend." I shot back, "A girlfriend who lied about where she was going and let her ex drive my truck." The insurance company moved fast. The truck was officially totaled. Market value, $38,000. Plus rental car costs while I sort out a replacement, $1,800. Plus diminished value claim, $3,200. Total, $43,000. They sent Jake a letter outlining his liability. Emily's family got involved. Her mom, Karen, called me, "You need to fix this situation right now. That poor boy doesn't have that kind of money." I said, "That poor boy is 28 and made an adult decision." She replied, "Emily made a mistake. You're punishing the wrong person." I said, "I'm not punishing anyone. I'm letting the legal process play out." She threatened, if you don't drop this, Emily's going to leave you. I said, that's her choice. She hung up. Emily's dad, Michael, tried a man-to-man approach. Listen, buddy, I get you're upset, but destroying someone's financial future over a fender bender is extreme. I corrected him, it wasn't a fender bender. The truck is totaled. He said, insurance should handle it. I replied, insurance is handling it. Jake's liable because he wasn't authorized. That's how it works. He insisted I could make it go away with one call. I said, I could, but I won't. He called me a few choice names before hanging up. Then came the social media campaign. Emily's sister, Sarah, posted about people who claim to love you but destroy innocent bystanders' lives over petty jealousy. Their mutual friends chimed in, painting me as a controlling boyfriend getting revenge on Emily's friend out of insecurity. They left out that Emily and Jake dated for 3 years, broke up just 8 months before we got together, and she'd claimed he was toxic and blocked. Yet they randomly ran into each other and spent hours catching up. I didn't engage, just documented everything. Yesterday, Emily tried a new tactic. She came home with takeout from my favorite place, wearing a dress I'd complimented, acting sweet. Babe, I've been thinking. You're right to be upset. I shouldn't have lied about meeting Jake. That was wrong. But punishing him financially isn't the answer. It's just going to create more drama for us. I said, there is no us anymore, Emily. She froze mid-bite. What? I continued, you lied about where you were, met up with your ex, let him drive my truck, and now you're more concerned about his finances than our relationship. We're done. She said, you're breaking up with me over a car? I replied, I'm breaking up with you over lying and betrayal. The car just made it expensive for Jake. Tears started. I made one mistake. I said, no, you made multiple choices, meeting Jake, lying to me, letting him drive, and defending him now. She asked, where am I supposed to go? I said, your parents seem very involved. I'm sure they'll help. I gave her 30 days, as legally required for month-to-month tenancy, and said I'd email formal notice. She grabbed her phone and stormed to the bedroom, sobbing on a call, probably with Sarah or Karen. This morning, I woke up to 27 missed calls from Jake. I answered the 28th. He screamed, what do you want from me? I said, nothing. I want absolutely nothing from you. He said, the insurance company says I owe $43,000. I replied, sounds about right. He said, I don't have that money. I said, then you probably shouldn't have driven a truck you weren't insured to drive. He said, Emily said it would be fine. I replied, Emily's not a lawyer or an insurance agent. Maybe don't take legal advice from your ex. He blurted, she's not my ex. It's complicated. I said, not complicated to me. She's your problem now. Enjoy the debt. I hung up and blocked his number. Emily overheard and stormed out. Did he just say what I think he said? I replied, sounds like you two have been more than friends catching up. She said, it's not, we weren't. I cut her off, Emily, I don't care anymore. You have 29 days to find a new place. Update 2, 1 week later. The audacity keeps escalating. Jake hired a lawyer who sent me a letter demanding I stop malicious prosecution and retract false statements to my insurance company, plus pay his legal fees. I forwarded it to my insurance company's legal department. They laughed and responded, 1. No false statements were made. 2. Jake admitted to driving to the police. 3. The police report confirms he was the operator. 4. He has no grounds for claims against me. 5. If he continues harassment, they'll add a harassment charge to the civil suit. Emily's still here, with 22 days left on the notice, making life miserable. Tuesday, she clogged the toilet with too much toilet paper, $200 plumber bill. Wednesday, she invited friends over at 2 a.m. for an emergency girls' night because she was depressed. They were so loud, neighbors complained. Thursday, she lost the only key to our storage unit. Friday, she used my credit card, stupid of me not to cancel her as an authorized user, for $600 in essential work clothes, because you're making me homeless, and I need interview outfits. I disputed the charge and removed her as an authorized user. Saturday was the worst. I came home to find Jake on my couch, eating my food. I said, what the hell are you doing here? Emily jumped up, I live here. I can have guests. I said, he's not a guest. He's trespassing. Get out. Jake stood, trying to look tough. Man, we need to talk about this insurance thing. I said, no, we don't. Leave now, or I call the cops. He said, just hear me out. I started dialing. He left, muttering, this isn't over. Emily was furious, I have tenant rights. I can have visitors. I said, you can have visitors, but not the guy you cheated with who destroyed my truck. Pack your stuff. Having Jake here violates reasonable terms, so I can modify the notice. She called her parents, who showed up with a U-Haul, not to move her out, but to threaten me. Michael stood in my doorway. You're going to drop this insurance claim? I said, no. He said, I'll make your life hell. I replied, get in line. Karen tried tears. Jake's parents are threatening to cut him off. He'll have to drop out of school. I said, maybe he should have thought about that before crashing my truck. Sarah arrived, adding, you're such a petty man. No wonder Emily had to find comfort elsewhere. I said, comfort? Is that what we're calling it? Emily turned red. Sarah said, shut up. Too late. I said calmly, so, you admit you've been cheating with Jake? Emily stammered, we weren't, it's not cheating. We were on a break. I said, what break? When were we on a break? She said, in my mind, I was going to break up with you anyway. Silence. Even her family looked shocked. I said, then it should be easy for you to leave now. You have 48 hours. They left after more yelling about lawyers and lawsuits. Sunday was quiet. Emily stayed in the bedroom, avoiding eye contact. Monday, my boss called me in. We received a call about you exhibiting violent behavior at home. I explained everything, showing the insurance claim, police report, and texts. He sighed. I figured it was vindictive, but I had to ask. I went home to find Emily packing. I asked, did you call my work? She didn't look up. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, if you try to mess with my job again. She cut me off. What? You'll ruin my life? Too late. The victim mentality was unreal. Update 3, 2 weeks later. Emily moved out, taking exactly 47 hours and 59 minutes of my 48-hour deadline. She left the key on the counter with a note, I hope you're happy destroying lives over your fragile ego. Jake and I are together now, and we're stronger for surviving your vindictiveness. Karma will find you. Karma found them first. Jake's parents hired a lawyer who told them he was screwed and should negotiate a payment plan. They discovered Jake's license was suspended 2 years ago for reckless driving, reinstated, but he never disclosed it. My insurance company amended their lawsuit, now seeking $52,000, including legal fees, due to his history. His parents cut him off completely. His dad called to apologize, I'm sorry our son put you in this position. We've enabled him too long. He's on his own. Emily moved in with Jake's studio apartment, shared with 2 roommates. Sarah posted about love conquering all. That lasted 5 days. Emily's friend Lauren texted me, thought you should know, Emily's crashing on my couch. Jake kicked her out because she expected him to pay for everything since she's unemployed. She also found out he's texting his other ex, Jessica. The friend group is done with her drama. Sorry about your truck. I thanked Lauren. Jake filed a claim with his insurance, saying he was a permitted driver because Emily had authority. My insurance provided the lease, vehicle registration, texts, and Emily's police statement proving otherwise. Jake's insurance dropped his coverage entirely for lying. He now has $52,000 in debt, no car insurance, no parental support, no degree, dropped out to work full-time, and no girlfriend. Emily left when the money ran out. Emily has no job, no car, no apartment, and burned her friend bridges. I got a check for the truck's full value plus rental coverage. I bought a 2023 Tacoma with better features. The insurance company is handling the lawsuit against Jake. I just show up if it goes to court, which it won't. Jake's desperate to settle. Michael called, saying, I hope you're satisfied. You've ruined 2 young lives over pride. I said, I didn't ruin anything. They made choices. They're facing consequences. He hung up. Final update, 1 month later. This is my last update. Jake filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. The insurance company got $3,000 from selling his gaming setup and collectibles and wrote off the rest. My rates didn't go up since I wasn't at fault. Emily learned actions have consequences. After Lauren kicked her out for borrowing money, she crawled back to Jake, who was now with Jessica. Emily had a meltdown at his building, was trespassed, and moved back with her parents 2 states away. She posted about starting fresh and leaving toxic situations. Comments called her out as the toxic one. Jake's working 2 jobs to pay legal fees and rebuild post-bankruptcy. I saw him at a gas station. He ran back to his beat-up Honda when he saw my new truck. Emily's grandmother sent me a Facebook message, young man, I'm ashamed of what my granddaughter did. You did the right thing. She needed to learn actions have consequences. Maybe now she'll grow up, though I doubt it. You deserve better. P.S. Nice new truck. That made me smile. I'm dating again, casual coffee dates, being upfront about boundaries. My apartment feels like mine again, repainted, new furniture, new TV, and a dash cam for the truck. No one drives it but me. Sarah posted about men who can't handle strong, independent women. The irony, since Emily couldn't pay her phone bill. Standing your ground isn't cruel, it's necessary. I didn't ruin Jake's future, he did by driving unauthorized. I didn't ruin Emily's life, she did by lying and cheating. I just refused to shield them. My insurance company sent a satisfaction survey. I gave them 5 stars, they turned my ex's entitlement into a life lesson. 10 out of 10, would let them sue Jake again. The agent laughed. To anyone in a similar situation, document everything, don't cave to manipulation, and never let anyone not on your insurance drive your vehicle. Trust me.